Hey there, and welcome to the Voncast Show. Hope y'all are doing well today. Happy Friday. Today is a solo episode, and I'm kind of here to talk about burnout for myself. It's not really so much podcast related, but just life. A couple weeks ago, I did not upload a podcast episode because I was just burnt out. I was working 6 days in a row. I really enjoy my job, but it is very tiring. And there's some stuff going on in the family, some health stuff. So I am doing my best to be there for that family member. And I don't mind it. I'm just a little worried of what's going on. When I found out that week, I was just like blown away. And I was, working 6 days in a row. And I told myself, this podcast thing, it can wait for a week. It can wait till I get back on it. I was so frazzled, and I have my good days and I have decent days and I have my not really good days. It was turning into in the middle of a decent and a not really good day. I really was not in the space to record or do much outside of work and rest. I felt overwhelmed. Um, and I enjoy podcasting. I really do. In July, it'll be 7 years. I can't believe that. Time is flying. Obviously, in those 6 years, there has been some periods where I've been less consistent, but I've been striving to do this weekly. And I'm realizing, hey, sometimes I got to take a break. I enjoy podcasting, but there's some stuff that's a lot more important that takes priority. And that is, first and foremost, my mental health. Two, family members. So, yeah, I really don't want to get too much into it just because I don't mind being open about my life in podcasting, but family stuff, I try not to really delve upon, whatever that means, like just really talk about, because it's not my business to really talk about it, but just, some family health stuff going on. And this is the first time for me where it's, semi serious. And so a lot was just in my head and told myself, hey, this podcasting thing can wait. I just got to really get myself through the days. I am working another 6 days in a row coming up. I'll be helping some family members move next weekend. So a lot of physical labor going on. So I decided to record 3 podcast episodes today, this being the solo one. And I got 2 more for later today. I did that because I can just tell I probably won't be able to record a podcast in the next couple of weeks because of everything going on. And plus, I like to do this, record multiple podcasts in a day or in a week. That way I don't have to always record every Friday. So there's that going on. I had a appointment with my psychiatrist today. It went pretty well. I let her know about the anxiety of this whole situation is going on. So there's that. But yeah, just burnout, man. I really enjoy recording podcasts and everything. And it's doing this, creating reels for it, creating little short clips. It's fun, but it takes a lot out of me, you know? I feel accomplished when I record an episode and release it. Feels nice to be consistent. So at that time when I felt really burnt out, I was like, I just got to take a break. And it felt really nice. It felt really nice not to have to go on social media as much. It felt nice not to really check and see how many views, how many likes it got. Feels nice not having to really check how many listens I got, that week. It was a nice break and I needed it. And after that week, I got back on it. But yeah, I just wanted to um, just shed light on that to talk about. And so, yeah, hoping for the best with that situation. I feel like at this, all I can do is be there. And yeah, that's all I can really do. Be there and show support. It's not something super serious, but it's the most serious thing that's happened regarding family and health for me. So, yeah, podcasting, man. Again, it'll be 7 years in July. I feel like it's become second nature to me. This is something, this is a routine that I do. Uh, I really enjoy it. It's kind of helping me stay clean in a weird way. Because in order for me to do a video podcast and record and be on top of it and sound good, I have to stay clean. Because if I'm not, if I get high and stuff, I probably won't want to podcast, or if I do, I'm really forcing myself and I know I wouldn't be doing my best. And I want to do my best when I can, be consistent. If I was getting high, I'd probably try and cancel podcast episodes or something of that nature, or not want to do it. But I feel like when I record these podcast episodes, release them pretty consistently, it helps me stay accountable. I feel like it's a sense of accomplishment for me when I'm able to do this to the best of my ability, just to stay consistent, release an episode every Friday. Sometimes I can't, like why I mentioned, because I felt burnt out. But I will say that since I've been doing this on a weekly basis, I feel like, no, I know that I have not been prioritizing much of my social life. I remember in my early 20s, late teens, my social life was everything. Maybe that's how it is for a lot of people. Feel like I had to be at every party, had to be there at every kickback, had to be out Friday nights, Saturday nights, drink on Thursdays. And I've noticed over time, uh, it's not like that anymore. I've noticed that now I really enjoy peace and quiet. I don't really go out as much. I'll go out to a graduation party which I did go to, which was fun. And I will go to In and Out with some coworkers every payday after our closing shift. I'll do that. But other than that, man, I keep to myself. Kind of learn to uh, embrace it. I don't know. Social situations I don't really do as much. I'm just at work or at home. I got friends at the tattoo shop that I should visit more often. It's on the way home, but I always tell myself, oh, you got to record a podcast or you got to upload some reels. I'll talk about the short clips in a bit, but I feel like that's always my excuse, you know? So I know that if I go, I'll end up staying for a little bit, which is fine. And then I get home, I'm super tired and I don't want to do anything. And I've noticed that, hey, I'm really glad that I'm able to be consistent with recording podcast episodes. But I'm noticing that, you know, it it kind of affects my social life. I don't really have one. Sure, I message friends, on social media or text messages. That's about it. I don't know how other people creating content or whatever uh have what their situation is with their social life. I'm sure it's different case by case basis. But yeah, that's how it is for me, man. It's become this routine. I'm really enjoying it. Just I really do enjoy releasing these, as I've said before. But yeah, and it's weird enough for me. The conversations I have is like a social hour for me. I'm talking to people for about an hour, a really fun conversation. Because outside of work, when I have to talk to people, I don't really talk to people. It's kind of chill in my room, do my thing. I remember at first, I didn't like the feeling of just being at home, and I'm starting to get used to it. I remember when there was that point where I started seeing my friends less frequently. I remember I'd try to, the parties were cool. And then it's like, oh, let's grab some food. Let's grab some, breakfast, lunch, or dinner or something. And that became less frequent. And that's okay. Everybody's doing their own thing. Some people are, more focused on their families, starting families, their partners, which is cool. I'm happy for them. Or they're just doing something totally different. They move to different states, different cities. Feels like I'm the only one left in the valley. In that circle of friends? So the people at the tattoo shop, they're good friends of mine, and I gotta visit more often. It's pretty cool that I just know they're always there. But yeah, it's something that I noticed recently that hey, that's great and all. You can podcast and release content uh, weekly. But hey, when's the last time you saw friends outside of work? I can't remember. Maybe a month or two ago. I don't know. I just don't have as much energy as I used to. I feel like, oh, I gotta, you know, record and, you know, uh, write questions and reach out to people. So yeah, with the reels, the little social media clips, they're about a minute and 30 seconds long. But sometimes it'll take like an hour to create those. Create them on CapCut, and then put little GIFs in them. But yeah, it takes up more time than I thought it would. And I do enjoy doing it, even though I dread it sometimes. But again, it's that sense of accomplishment. I feel like being productive in a sense, doing something with my podcasting. Nah, after that, I just chill, rest, sleep, get ready for the next day at work. But yeah, another thing too, man, I really beat myself up for this. Sometimes I schedule podcasts. Uh, I don't schedule them properly. Like I'll say, okay, let's shoot for this date and this time when I actually meant another day and another time. And I'll know this because the guests will reach out to me and they'll say, hey, are we still on for today's podcast at this time? And I'm like, oh, shoot. Did I mean today? Did I say today? I meant, you know, next week or 2 weeks ago. And I just really beat myself up for it. I'm trying to do better with that because I'm only human. We're all only human. You know, it happens. But to me, I always tell myself, oh, you've been doing this for 7 years. How do you make a scheduling mistake? And I got to tell myself, like, what expectation is that? I mean, it happens. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it happens. And I kind of bummed out about it. And, you know, doing this for this long, it's become like my identity. I don't know about other podcasters, but dude, it's just something I do. Before, it was kind of tough. Like, oh, I don't know. It was just, before it was, I don't know, it's become my identity, part of my identity, pretty much. This is something I do, release stuff, every Friday to the best of my ability throughout the week. I reach out to guests that I want to talk to. I scroll through social media, reach out to people that I find interesting that I like to talk to or know people, reach out to them through email or DMs. Hey, would you like to be on the podcast? Explain to them how it works. You know, uh, explain how it works. Write out questions, send it to them, and then record, edit. I've been doing a little more editing this time. Create a cover art for the podcast episode. Use AI for the synopsis and post it, and then promote the episode throughout the week. It's just a cycle. It's a fun cycle. I enjoy it, but I think I had to see friends more often, as weird as that sounds. Before I was all about it. I was all about seeing friends, but now it's like, oh, I'll see them when I see them kind of thing. But I don't know. It would be nice to see friends outside of work and catch up. Feel like that could help my mood a little bit, you know. But yeah, I'm really like, I can't believe it's been 7 years. I didn't think that I would even get this far. I didn't even think I really thought about it. I would just keep going. Okay, I'm getting this person on this week. I'm getting this person the next week. There's been times where I only maybe recorded one podcast a month or two, but I'm trying to get back into the groove of things. I think because I personally look forward to certain podcasts to drop. Like, it's part of my weekly thing. I know certain podcasts I listen to drop every Friday or every Wednesday. And that part of me is like, okay, I can't wait. It's anticipation. It's like a TV show, you know. Uh, back in the day when I had to wait. Oh man, or even today, drop a new anime coming out. Okay, it comes out every Friday. I can't wait for the next episode. So I treat it like that. And I honestly, to be honest, I don't have the most listeners, but I see it as wow, this many people are actually listening to your podcast, are actually tuning in. That's pretty cool. You know, sure, part of me wants to, have more views and listens, more listens. I think views are for like Instagram and stuff. And that's, whatever. To me, it's like, I think it's nice that when I post stuff, it gets pretty good amount of likes and views. But how much of that actually translates into listens? So yeah, I'm just stoked that people actually are listening, that are still listening. So if you're listening to this, thank you. I don't know how you found my podcast, but somehow you did. So thank you for tuning in. That means a lot. And yeah, um, I think that's pretty much it. I just want to get some stuff off my chest regarding stuff outside of podcasting. Um, and yeah, I think it'll be okay. It's just when I find out about the news with the family health stuff, normally I, worry, feel anxious, and that and plus working 6 days in a row, I figured, hey, I'm going to take care of my mental health first. I know I've had countless guests where we talk about mental health and how we need to prioritize it. So that's how I take care of my mental health, by doing what I essentially need to do. Like, I don't have to podcast. I don't have to. That week off was nice. Sometimes I think, oh, what could I else, like how much would life be more quote unquote easier, be more laid back if one day I just stopped? If I just stopped recording podcasts, what would life be like? Well, I think I'd have more of a social life. I'd go out more. I don't have to worry about, oh, who am I going to have on this week? How, I got to get 4 guests on this month. I'm surprised I'm still going. 200, I don't know. What is this, 219? Sure, some guests are repeat and a couple or few are solo, but still, shit, man. I don't even know 219 people, It's a trip. So, yeah, that's, like I said, so I got lost off topic, but pretty much, um, yeah, I guess my life would be a lot easier, a lot more chill if I wasn't podcasting. You know, um, it'd be a lot less. It'd be a little more cheaper because I pay for subscription stuff. Riverside, I'm gonna owe like $288 to renew for 1 more year. I pay like $20 for Spreaker, like the podcast host. I pay $13 for the audiophonic, which is like post editing. Um, yeah, it'd be a lot cheaper in that sense, but I really enjoy podcasting. So I do like the challenge it brings, where I have to find people to talk to. I've learned new skills from podcasting. I can talk a little better. You know, um, I learned how to edit through podcasting. Obviously, you go through YouTube and you do tutorials or ask friends, but just doing those different things, how to record, how to talk to people, how to edit, how to create cover art. That took time, practice, and trying different things. And for that, I'm grateful. And plus, I like having conversations with people I want to talk to. I, for those who have been listening from day one or a few years ago, uh, can tell that I've focused my podcast episodes, the show, more towards mental health, more towards recovery and addiction. I still like talking to people, different, who do different things, people I'm a fan of. But yeah, it's just something that I've been doing now. I feel like it's growth. I mean, I love talking to people about what they do and all that stuff. Before it was a very like uh, interview based thing. That's I was inspired by a lot of the podcasts I listened to back in the day. But I feel like now it's a little bit more different where I really want to talk about uh, mental health things, mental health topics. So I have, mental health issues. A lot of people do. And I really want to talk about that in my own way, my experiences with recovery and addiction. I remember back in the day, I would probably be coming down off of getting high for the past 3 or 4 days, and I'd feel like shit, right? What would help inspire me to consider getting clean or think about what life would be like getting clean was to listen to podcast episodes about recovery and addiction uh, from, the musicians and artists, tattoo artists, and people like I knew of, hear their story. And that inspired me. It didn't get me clean, but it planted a seed. It was a seed of, oh wow, you can actually get clean. This person done it. This person has gone through a lot more than you have. And look at this person now. They're thriving, they're doing well. So that's what I really want to talk about. Addiction and recovery a lot. Not saying that my podcast episode will get somebody clean, but at the most or at the least, it can plant the seed that, hey, maybe I can quit doing drugs and alcohol, or at least I can do it to a level where it's not as destructive. Everyone's different. For me, I just got to stop completely. so, so yeah, that's today's episode. I'm glad I'm doing 3 podcast episodes today. I won't be able to record one next week. So it's nice to have uh, some ready to go. But yeah, with that said, sorry, my throat is super raspy. I should have drank some water before recording. Yeah, pro tip, definitely drink some water before you podcast, but not too much because you're going to have to go to the bathroom. All right. With that said, hope y'all have a good rest of your weekend. Take care, and I'll see you in the next show.